In order for New Brunswick to flourish, we've got to learn how to embrace immigration. Embracing immigration means embracing differences. It means embracing other cultures, taking a chance. It means getting to know new people. It means maybe living different than we currently live right now.
So New Brunswick has been becoming more and more diverse over the last few years. We've been tracking data here at the Department of Education on diversity in the schools, and we know that we have been receiving more and more newcomers into our school system, and English language learners specifically. So the system has had to respond in ways that it hasn't responded before. So we have English as an additional language curricula in the high schools now. We have welcome centers in most areas of the province now. We have Global Minds chapters, multicultural clubs, and we have the Capacity for Courage project running. So we started this project with the Economic Immigration Lab hosted by New Lab. My team's prototype came out of that.
And we kept coming back to youth as the best option. It really needed to start in schools with youth, and it just was a nice blend when we came up with the idea for a grant program for teachers.
The goals for the Capacity for Courage program in schools is to really give them the time and the space and the support to do what they need to do around cultural awareness and inclusion for their school context.
To help teachers have not only the funding, but also the support that they need to encourage courageous conversations in the classroom, to have a community of practice so that they know that they're not alone on this journey.
So when Heather and I developed the application form to send out to schools, we purposely left it open with a goal of doing something in your school to increase cultural awareness and inclusion for staff and students. And we got over 50 applications with all kinds of different goals and visions included. And then we had a social innovation lab in the summer just with the teachers from the Capacity for Courage project. Teachers came in with identified projects and left after 3 days with projects that looked, in some cases, completely different, and in all cases, somewhat different.
The main focus of the project is multicultural awareness through initiative network, which is like MAIN.
So our project is based around art and tech coming together. So the tech park, we're really trying to get the students intrigued by, but bring in the cultural part.
Our project's called Under One Sky, I Belong. And what we wanted to do was embrace the diversity in the community and celebrate it.
We expected or anticipated some of the projects would look like, what we received in applications. But the cool thing was we really challenged the teachers to say, okay, this is a good project, but how could you make it great?
Based on the different activities that we have done here, it has actually increased my knowledge and beyond the scope of what I originally had in my project.
As we were kind of working through this process, we noticed that we had too large of a scheme of projects, so we took a step back.
We had this big idea, but now in turn we have shifted and we're kind of taking baby steps.
We're going to continue with the main theme, but we've added components to it to make it deeper.
That's what we saw at the end of the Innovation Lab was teachers who took good projects and now are making them awesome, or teachers who thought they understood kind of the space that they're in and after further discovery and conversation realized that, they might want to take their projects in new ways.
Open up together and all close on one giant clap together.
Visiting the schools and seeing the prototypes in action has been the best part of the entire thing. There are elementary, middle, and high schools involved. Some of the schools are diverse already. Some are just starting to see one or two newcomers coming in. Some have been working on this already. Some haven't. So because of that, we've had all kinds of different projects coming out of it.
So we've got teachers who are tying it to curriculum. We've got teachers who are using art. We've got teachers who are looking to increase the books that they have in the library. Teachers who want to have cultural events.
We do this activity called Connecting Cougars. The grade 3 to 5s, we are put into a group with different people and different teachers, so you get to make new friends and learn about other people.
Every Friday for an hour, we get together in the gym, all 9 classes, and each teacher will be assigned a random group. So we'll all decide on doing similar activities and then break off so the students can meet a new teacher and meet some new friends.
So our presenter was Fabiola Martinez, and she's currently a visual artist in St. John, and she was born and raised in Mexico. And what she did is she had the kids all paint a calavera, and we asked her questions about her culture and about her sugar skulls, and we also presented to her what we had learned already. And we are having a girl from Palestine come in, and she's going to bring all the different traditional clothes that they wear in Palestine, so the kids get to try it in. And she has all the different artifacts from Palestine on her desk for the kids to look at.
So Global Minds is a bridge between Canadians, people who were born in Canada, and people who were born in other countries.
Like me. If someone is an immigrant from another country, they can explain their perspective, and then someone who's born here, we can explain what it's like to live here for our whole lives.
Oh, I really like my friends in there. We teach each other word in our language. So my friends speak Arabic. Well, he will tell me word in Arabic, and I will tell him word in Chinese.
We have a responsibility. We have a responsibility as educators to, like I said, not indifference. Oh, that doesn't affect me in my everyday life. This is not going to change until we change. Teachers think that we have the answers for it. We don't. We have to ask the people that are living it now and get their voice. That's why I love the group, the Student Voice, this year.
It used to be a diversity club. In changing the name to Student Voice, it kind of opened it up that we want other people involved, not just those who are visibly diverse or who are a minority population.
It's a good way to meet friends, and I think it sort of just gels together, the welcomeness from people from our school and the amazing openness for the countries that come in.
Nightly News is still a committee that's developing itself and that discovers what we want to do, and it's still something that is forming. So the students bring concerns and they bring ideas on how to address those concerns. One of them was the information. Sometimes, in such a big school, there are so many things going on that sometimes it's difficult to stay on top of things and know exactly where is what or at what time or who's responsible for whatever clubs. So we're trying to put in place different things, by example, a big calendar that is showing to the students what is coming up in the month. We also have Remind, a bulletin board. So by example, a student that would like to be in a different committee, you could go there, Nightly News, it's something that interests me. They can take their phone, go here, and then it sends them directly to the link so they can sign up to the committee. They just put their phone numbers, and from now on, they show up on my list and they receive all the information. So it's a lot easier for them.
So today I decided to run just my grade 8s, all of them, through a mystery Skype.
We did a mystery Skype where we had to figure out where they were from, and there was a bunch of us on the computers researching some of the places that they could be, and it was actually quite fun, yeah. Just to kind of figure out what their culture is and chat with people from across the world.
So the goal is to have kids actually learn from others, more about others around the world, and better understand themselves in doing so.
We have some amazing educators in this province who have stepped out of their comfort zone, who are really creative. And I know we keep using the words brave and courageous, but it is brave to take on new projects and to be the person who always raises your hand to try something new and to get grant money.
It's not as scary and as intimidating as you think. And even when they don't know the language, they're still kids. And the things you would do for any English-speaking kids are the same things you'd do for newcomers. You might just have to change the way you do it.
As we know, when we named this project Capacity for Courage, it takes courage to be able to look at yourself It takes courage to be able to open up conversations with your colleagues. It takes courage to be able to open up conversations with your students. And that's really where the success comes from for me, is being able to talk to people and hear their story back, that they've been able to go there. They've been able to have that courage to open up conversations that are difficult, and they may not have done that previously, but the support of this community and the support of this project and the other resources that we've shared with them has enabled them to be able to feel empowered to do that.
And a shameless plug would be that it would be really awesome also if we were able to work with some private sector sponsors to help fund this as we move forward, because it would be great to see that this is not just a government initiative, because it's not. It's an everybody initiative. This is something that we all have to put our hand up and say, this is important, because it absolutely impacts every area of life in New Brunswick.
So we hope for ripple effects from the Capacity for Courage project. So we have certain teachers from the Capacity for Courage schools that we've been working with, but then those teachers, when they go back to their schools, work with other teachers in the school building, and they work with students in the school building, and they've also been expanding into the community. So we're hoping after this year wraps up for the Capacity for Courage prototype that we can either follow up with other schools doing a similar type of project, or we can follow the ripple effects that the schools that have been doing this work and the people on the ground that are doing this work.
I have hopes that this is going to continue on as we move forward. The teachers that are teaching these children are change agents, they are change makers, they need to be supported. And what is going to happen is the ripple effect of all this lovely, vibrant cultural diversity is going to ripple out into our communities, which just makes us a better, stronger, cohesive fabric.